Come on in, man. Come on, let's go, let's go. Yo, this way. Welcome to FFA Weekly. Let's check it out.
We can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Elaine, acting out bodies, standing on top.
Episode 3, baby, of Minnesota FFA Weekly. I'm your host, Lafe, and today we have a show jam-packed just for you. Up first, we're going to talk about nutrition with yours truly. Then we're going to hear from a student down from Chatfield, Minnesota, as he talks about his equine project. Once we've heard from him, we're going to give it to our state treasurer as she talks about making memories. Once we do that, we're going to give it all the way up to our state reporter as she gets a little scientific gift. Finally, we're going to give it to our alumni president as she brings greetings. Up first, we're going to talk about nutrition with yours truly. Alright guys, we're here. We got the pancakes. But before we, Nathan wanted to show us, but before we get started, I need to show one thing. This is our lovely cameraman, Mr. Max Johnson. Max Johnson has been helping with FFA Weekly for the last 2 weeks. He's done an amazing job. He plans on helping out a lot more, I hope. He's doing good. So, as me and Nathan eat these pancakes, we're gonna list off some nutritional facts in between pancakes, and only in between pancakes. And my intent is to eat every single pancake on here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna eat my 2, and then I'm gonna go to bed. That's my plan.
All right, so here we go. This is us eating pancakes. The last few weeks have resulted in a lot of changes for most of us. As school has moved online, most of the students on my campus had moved out their dorms and went back home. And that meant that only a few of us remained in the house I live and had to start taking care of ourselves a lot more. As a freshman, I was lucky to have a meal plan, which meant that if everything else fell through, I could roll up to a dining hall and find already prepared food to put together as a well-balanced meal. Now that there's just a couple of us still here, I have a giant house and a lot to learn. One of those things apparently is how to feed myself. See, I'm the middle child of 5, so I do have my basic survival skills, but I'm going to be honest with all you. When someone else is making a lot of decisions for us, you don't always realize how little we know. This pancake adventure was a sad documented example of my pitiful, sad, and very much painful discovery of that fact. This week, Minnesota FFA kicked off its socially distant career development events with food science, so I decided to give the first one a try. After all, I'm a college freshman and I love to eat, so I should be able to dominate this thing. We were challenged to create a meal that appeals to Generation Z that includes 25 grams of protein because that's a healthy supply of energy for active teens. As being a teen myself who loves pancakes, I felt pretty awesome about the discovery that carb-laden pancakes contain protein. All I had to do was eat the equivalent of 6.5 giant pancakes, but since 6.5 is a pretty lame number, I decided to go with 13 small ones. Almost 1,000 calories on the plate and 145% of my daily recommended carbohydrates, not including my syrup, all to deliver less than half of my recommended protein. It almost seems like I had to be like a scientist to figure this stuff out. 2 weeks ago, Britton talked about the chemistry of baking during her Baking with Britton segment. The chemical reaction of the leavening agents in my pancakes made them fluffy, but chemistry is just one component of food science. It looks at nutrition, marketing, preferences, and more. And my decision to meet the protein minimum with pancakes was to find most of the common sense that comes from other aspects of food science. It's an experience I truly will never forget. Food scientists balance safety, flavor, texture, and nutritional needs in a way that is appealing to consumers. They make sure my pancake mix is something that can sit on a shelf and not be used all at once under normal circumstances, and identify ways to improve the nutritional content of meals. A food scientist wouldn't pitch a plate full of pancakes as a high-protein meal, but they may be involved in creating a high-protein, low-carb option to put on restaurant menus. Until trying the socially distanced CDE for food sciences, I never really thought much about how to specifically meet the nutritional needs in an affordable and enjoyable way. After trying the challenge, I know the answer is not exclusively through pancakes, but I also see myself thinking more about the decisions I make in the grocery store and in the kitchen. Career development events are about exploration. You don't have to want to go into food scientists and develop projects for Land O'Lakes to get something out of it, but you might find that's exactly the kind of challenge that you're looking for. See, I'm not going to go into product development, but I do care a lot about agriculture education, and that's why opportunities like the career development events make sense because they give students hands-on opportunities to learn through experiences. That's why we're excited about the opportunities to bring that kind of education home with our socially distant career development events. Not only might you learn something cool, but you also can earn some cool prizes with the Minnesota FFA Foundation. So you may be asking, what did I learn from eating all of these pancakes? Well, let me tell you. 1, almost all my food contains protein, but that doesn't mean it's a smart source of all of my protein. 2, food isn't something to simply consume mindlessly. It's the choice we make about our food can make it longer lasting, more affordable, and more nutritious, and just better tasting in general. A quick Google search also showed me that right here in Minnesota, food scientists are making over $100,000. So it's a great career area. And 3, even if I'm not well prepared for a career in food science yet, participating in an exploratory activity like this one has given me perspective that will definitely change the way I look at food in the future. And that's a pretty delicious takeaway. I hope many of you will head on over to our Facebook and Instagram, check out the rules to compete in this week's Socially Distant Career Development event, and that you have better luck than I did this time. Good luck, guys.
Week 1, I talked about motivation, and I'm about to get it. Why do I want to do this? Because I care about you, and you want me to finish these pancakes. I know everyone watching this video wants me to finish these pancakes. So this one's for you, all you viewers, you people that are watching. Thank you for your support. This one's for you. Mom, I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, the last pancake.
Oh my gosh, that was a lot of pancakes. Whew. Up next, we have Isaac Green from Chatfield as he talks about his equine project.
Growing up, I've always been around horses. My grandpa used to use horses for his field work, going for pleasure rides, and he loved going to competitions. Well, this love for horses then passed down to my mother, which then in return passed down to me and my brothers. When I joined FFA, I thought my SAE would either be in equine production or equine placement, but I didn't get quite as much satisfaction out of that. So I decided to do an agricultural education approach. I was given the ability to talk to people who are new to horses or people who are young and starting to ride horses. I was able to have the opportunity to teach them how to be around a horse, how to safely handle a horse, how to safely ride a horse, what it's like to raise a horse and what it takes to raise a horse. This also opened many doors to teach agricultural education for many people. When they think of a farmer, they think of a cowboy or cowgirl rounding up cattle. This opened doors to be able to teach them what agriculture really is, and that really is satisfactory.
What a cool project, Isaac. Best of luck with your SAE. If you want your SAE spotlighted here on the Minnesota FFA Weekly Show, just take your phone, record a 2 to 4 minute video horizontally of you describing your project. Make sure to include lots of photos and videos and send it to us at minnesotaffa@gmail.com. Now we're going to give it to Maddie Smith as we do our fireside chats.
Hey friends, welcome to Fireside Chat. Today we are doing our chat under the hottest fire of them all, and that is the sun. Although it doesn't feel so hot right now, if I'm being honest. It's a little chilly. But anyway, so today I was going to have you guys tag along as I do my daily routine. So I have been going on a walk every day, and so today we're going to be taking a walk down memory lane. Growing up, I've lived in several different houses. I spent my first 10 years in the city of Rochester, and then I moved to a rural area, and then I moved on a farm where I then graduated from high school. This fall, I ended up moving here up to St. Paul and lived here on the St. Paul campus for college. And just a couple weeks ago, my housing plans once again changed. So I'm still here on the St. Paul campus. I'm sure you noticed that I am here on the the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. And so my homes have always changed. But there's one thing that sets apart a house from a home, and that's the memories. All 5 of these different places that I have lived in, I have been able to consider home because of the memories. So being home right now probably feels like a pretty big deal. And it is. It's hard being home and making all the readjustments. I know for me, I've been spending a lot more time on social media, checking my Instagram and Snapchats. I've been spending more time on the TV screen, watching Hulu, Netflix, movies, TV shows, all those sorts of things. And I've been overall sleeping in far too late. So how can we adjust to being back home? Well, something I have been doing is I have been taking walks. So today I am on my daily walk where I have been taking a walk down memory lane. And like I said, this place is one of my homes. And it's because of all the great memories. I look around and I see the Coliseum and think about all the dairy shows that happened during the state fair. I think about the FFA members that are here in the Miracle of Birth Center and all the spectators that they're able to connect to. And I think about the crowds of thousands and thousands and over time millions of people that are here on the state fairgrounds. So something that I encourage for you to do. I encourage you to take a little bit of time to disconnect. I know for me, the first week of being on quarantine, I was really wishing this time away and spending way too much time doing some of those distracting things. However, taking that moment to disconnect, maybe put your phone on airplane mode, that's what I've been doing, and just take an hour to clear your head for each day. I've been able to have a little bit more time to disconnect and see all the great things, remember all of the great memories that have been built around me. So for you, taking a walk down memory lane probably isn't a stroll through the kind of eerily creepy, quiet state fairgrounds, but maybe you're able to take a walk around the block and see all the places that you would go for walks with your family growing up, and maybe where you would play on the playground as a kid. Maybe you're on the farm and you're able to spend more time with your livestock outside. I know if I was at one of my other homes right now, I would probably be out playing with the sheep or the cattle, helping with chores, watching the ducks because ducks are amazing, or even just spending more time with my family in general. So I encourage you to take this time and utilize it and think about not what we could be doing, but think about what has been done and what we can appreciate with where we are. I know that being home is hard, but we can fully embrace it and make the most out of it and appreciate all the memories that we have, because in the end, being home is a pretty great place to be. Well, thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you're able to fully embrace being home as you take your next walk down memory lane.
Man, I just love this fire. Up next, we're going to give it to Britton as she busts some myths.
Okay, I'm going. Okay there. Hey FFA members, and thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Minnesota FFA Weekly. Today we are going to be doing myth busting with Britton. Recently, our state staff, Julia Toloski, or Miss T as you know her, showed us a video of this set of science experiments. And let me just tell you, they're not real. So, in order to prove her wrong, today we're going to be debunking them.
Wait,
The very first thing that you need to do before getting into science experiments is take safety precautions. So if you follow me over here, I don't quite have a lab coat, but we're gonna be wearing my mom's robe for protection. Has a little frog to protect us. We're going to put on our safety goggles. Thanks, Dad. I should insert a montage here. Insert montage! Now that we've got our safety gear on, we're gonna hop into our very first Mythbuster. So this first one starts off with a potato or any vegetable of your choice, but we're gonna use a potato because that's what the video that Miss T showed us said, a cup, and one of our fellow Red Bull energy drinks. What this myth says is that when you soak a vegetable for about 10 seconds in an energy drink, it comes out squishy. So for proof that it's hard, okay, it doesn't, whatever. We're going to fill our cup up with our energy drink. We're gonna take our potato and set it in there for about 10 seconds. The sizzle. Yep, whatever. It's time to take it out. It's been about 20 seconds. Well, it's not squishy. Nope. Frankly, it's kind of gross. Debunked. For this next experiment, we're gonna head up to the kitchen and fry some eggs in Red Bull energy drink. Experiment says that if you fry eggs in energy drink, that they will become stretchy. So we're gonna test that out. So our egg is fried somewhat, started smoking, so we took it off and signified that that was when it was done. So we're gonna pick it up now and see if it's stretchy. It's not stretchy. Ew, ew. Debunked. Okay, so for this next experiment, you are going to need ice cubes, pepper, sugar, and sugar-free Red Bull. The whole point of this experiment is that if you mix all these things together and dump it upside down, it's gonna be dry. They started off with the ice cubes, they put them in the cup. They grinded some pepper on top, then they put some sugar, quite a bit actually, mixed it around. Now we're gonna pour in our sugar-free energy drink. Stir it around. Well, it's not solid, so we're not gonna dump it out. Ew. Gross. That's disgusting. Debunked. These last two that we're gonna do not require energy drinks at all. We're gonna focus more on my favorite, chocolate milk and Oreos. This next experiment was also sent to me by the one and only Miss T, and she said that if you dip an Oreo cookie in chocolate milk, it's going to be less soggy from the amount of time that you dip one in regular milk. So we're gonna test that out because who doesn't love Oreos and milk? We're gonna take a cup and fill it a little bit. Good enough. Then we're gonna take some other milk, fill it up. I'm also gonna show you the right way to dip cookies. I'm gonna open up your package. This is the only lifting I do in my life. You're gonna take your Oreo cookies. Oh, someone got into this one. You're gonna take an unbroken one. Oh my god! Okay, we're gonna take another one. Dude! What the heck? That's 3 broken ones. Okay. Oh my god. That one's broken too. Oh my god, that one is. Oh my god! What the I promise I did not do this. Dude, look at this. Just take a moment to look at this. Ready? Look. 3 in here, then all these ones are wait, that one's broken down the middle too. Okay, so we're gonna take from the side. Okay, you know what, whatever, we're just gonna do it. You can take your fork. Stick it right in the cream. The same with the other one. Oh my god! I think there's something wrong. It didn't do this. Do you see that? Did they see that? Can you see it on the camera? They all have that. Whatever, we'll just see if this one holds together. Oh my god. I don't know what's wrong with these cookies. When's the expiration date? Oh. Serving size 3 cookies. No. The 19th of August of 2020. They're still good. They're just not. So now we have our 2 cookies. And we're gonna hold these in there for the same exact time. And then I'm gonna eat them and determine which one's crunchier. Okay? So chocolate milk. I was gonna say vanilla. Regular milk, ready? Alright. Okay, I think that should be good. Let's try them. Let's try this one first. Okay. Little crunchy, little soggy. Not bad. Let's try the chocolate milk one. It is a little bit crunchier, but not much. A little bit. Good to me. I'm still gonna eat them. Best experiment ever. Let's cock-a-doodle do this. This next experiment, and our last and final experiment, is again about cracked Oreo cookies. I don't know about you, but my favorite part of an Oreo cookie is the cream in the middle, and I always loved double stuffed. However, Dollar General did not have double stuffed, they only had regular. And so I saw this hack by the same guy who talked about the energy drinks, and he said that if you take a hairdryer and blow on it, it'll give you more cream. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna plug this in. Kind of burning my fingers. Ow, 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 ow. Dude, so here's the thing. Anything, it's making it less because it's melting it and running out. So, debunked. Thank you for tuning in today with me, for busting myths that Miss Teeth thought were real.
Thanks for speaking the truth, Britton. Last week, our weekly challenge was to submit a photo of you and how you were spending your time off. Let's check out some of our submissions. Our first submission is Kaylee Johnson from the Alexandria FFA Chapter, celebrating her little brother's birthday virtually with some family. Up next, we have Julie Orbeck from the Albany FFA Chapter, learning new skills while cooking a chicken casserole, or as we like to call it, a hot dish. And look at that, she's even promoting the FFA Weekly Challenge. Way to go, girl. And last but certainly not least, we have the Kirkhoven Murdoch Sunberg FFA Chapter hosting an Easter egg hunt for their community. Keep up the hard work, guys. Now it's time for the weekly challenge. This week's challenge is to post a photo or video of how you are serving others in need. Make sure you tag us at MNFFA and use our hashtag Minnesota FFA Weekly. Now we're going to send it to Miss Corynn Flood, president of the Minnesota FFA Alumni, as she brings greetings.
Oh, hi Minnesota FFA. Let me put my Mr. Sketch marker away and I'll be right with you. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Corynn Flood and I am currently serving as president of the Minnesota FFA Alumni Association, also known as Minnesota FFA Alumni and Supporters. And today I am going to bring you fun facts with alumni and supporters. Fun fact number 1, I was never in FFA. In fact, I was born and raised in Minneapolis and never had the opportunity. I didn't become involved in FFA until our children entered high school and our daughter became involved in the local FFA chapter. Fun fact number 2, name change. Did you know that a couple of years ago, National FFA Alumni changed its name to the National FFA Alumni and Supporters? You see, they realized that the name alumni was a little bit misleading in that people believed that they had to have worn the blue jacket in order to support the blue jacket. And so they changed the name to Alumni and Supporters to encompass anyone who wanted to support agricultural education and FFA, people like me who never wore the blue jacket. Fun fact number 3, In Minnesota, 35% of our local FFA chapters have an alumni and supporter group working with the local ag instructor and FFA advisor to build bigger and better programs. Now, on the national level, 25% of FFA chapters have an alumni and supporter group. This tells me two things. One, Minnesota is ahead of the national average, and I'm very proud of that. And number two, we have a long ways to go. You see, we have a lot of local FFA programs that don't have an organized alumni and supporter group to support that local ag instructor and FFA advisor. And fun fact number 4, membership. Did you know that when you graduate from high school, your membership in FFA does not end? It automatically rolls over to the National FFA Alumni and Supporters membership for 5 years after you graduate from high school. And it is our sincere hope that at the end of those 5 years, no matter where you find yourself, whether that's in a big city, in a dream job, back at home on the family farm, or working anywhere in the United States, that you would find a local FFA chapter to support and give back to the organization. I hope you've enjoyed our alumni and supporters fun facts. Have a great day.
Well, this brings us to the end of episode 3 of the Minnesota FFA Weekly Show. Make sure you hit subscribe and join us every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Central Time to join the state officers and other students around the state for a chat while watching the premiere of the Minnesota FFA Weekly Show. Stay groovy! If cows drink a bathtub a day, who made the bathtub liquid?